Modi ji, who very proudly tells us that he was a chaiwala. Yeah, he was a chaiwala's beta. He also used to serve tea along with his dad. Yeah, where is he now? So if a chaiwala, if a newspaper boy can become the president and prime minister of a country, we all can do whatever we want to, right? And so the difference between a dream and a goal is nothing. When you write down your dream, okay? When you take a piece of paper and write it down, write down your dream, it becomes a goal, right? So what you need to do right now is take a piece of paper and please write your dream there. I give you 2 minutes time, 2 minutes, exactly 2 minutes. Take a piece of paper and write down your dream. It can be anything. Don't think in terms of, oh, this cannot happen or that cannot happen, but just write it down. Just write your dream there. And today I'm going to tell you how to set goals so that you can reach wherever you want to. So just write your dream, whatever it is. If I start telling you stories about people who have achieved their dreams, it'll just go on and on.
Uncountable.
Yes. So, so I have a few familiar faces here. Pavandeep is here, and Devansh is here. Nice to see you all. Preeti is here. I think Preeti just joined. Okay, great. Right. So now you've written down your dreams. Yeah. Now this becomes your goal. When you write it down, it becomes your goal. As long as you keep your dream here, it just remains a dream and you don't work towards it. Put it down on paper, put it down in black and white for you to see. Now there are two things which will happen. Okay. A few days later, you can open the sheet and read. And you may feel, hey, no, this, I just wrote it because Nam told me to write it. Well, this is not what I want. So, well, that's not your goal. Okay. And when you read it after a few days, like you're, yes, this is what I want. That becomes your goal. Yeah, that becomes your goal. So we need to understand what our goal is. It's not just any thought, any need, any desire which comes to my mind. No, it is something which comes with a lot of passion. Okay, Sahana. Nice to see you here. I have a chat, so that's why I'm saying hello to her. So you can convert your dreams into goals just by writing it. So any dream which comes to your mind, please write it down on a piece of paper. Keep a notebook, in fact. Call it your dream book. Write down your dreams in that. Few days later, when you pick it up and you look at it and you say, oh, well, this is not, I don't want it. So then that does not become your goal. That's not your goal. You wrote it just because somebody told you to write it, right? And you will be able to identify your goal when you look at it and say, yes, this is what I want to become. You know, it comes from your heart. It fills you with that passion. That is your goal. Yeah. So, you know, I attended a workshop and it was amazing because he told in that workshop that when you write down your goals, see, it is very important that you write down. Please don't keep it in your mind because it does not work. You have to write it down. And then he said, how many goals do you think you can write down? Anybody? How many goals? How many goals do you think you should write down? Sorry?
Single. A
So I'm
single
not
one.
able. You wrote one.
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody more than one?
Ma'am, I two.
Two. Okay. Anybody more than two? You know, when you write down your goal, we all put a number to it. Yeah. I also said, okay, we can write down 10 goals. And, you know, there are many people who said you can write down 11 goals, 12 goals. And you know what this person, he was on the stage and he said, please write down 144 goals. So, wow, that's what he told. He said, write down 144 goals. It's very difficult, you know. I can't write 144 goals, but then he says that's the number you keep in your mind and write down all your goals, every single thing you want to do. And the amazing part of it is that when you write down these goals one after the other, what happens is you will find that you're able to tick each goal, done, 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 add some more goals, done, done, done. Every goal is achievable, it's possible. That's the beauty of the whole thing. And that's why, I love this topic of goal setting, because I learned to set goals and I learned to achieve these goals, and it is just wonderful. It increases your confidence like anything, because you can achieve what you want to. And that's why I want to share. I'm not teaching here, please. Young children here, please don't think I'm your teacher or anything. I'm just sharing something which I learned, because I want each and every one of you to have the benefit of it and reach where you want to reach, right? So let us start off in earnest. I'm going to share my screen. Harsh, you will have to enable me to share my screen again. Hello, Plabita, I just saw you. Familiar face.
Now you can do it now.
Okay. Right. So all of you can see the screen, I suppose. Yeah. So a very good afternoon to you, and I'm going to talk about goal setting, and that's how it makes you feel when you set your goals and when you achieve. It's like flying high in the air. It's like soaring high. It is literally. So to help you to define your goals, ask this question to yourself. What are my dreams for the future? So that's what we did right now, right? I told you to write your dreams. So please write it down. What are my dreams? What do I want to be? What is the reason that I am attending school or college? Do you even know why you're attending school? Do you know why you're attending college? Most of the students, when I ask them, they say, okay, because my parents sent me. Well, then it becomes your parents' goal, not your goals, right? So please take down these questions, and you need to answer this for yourself. In your dream book, please answer these questions. What are my dreams for the future? What do I want to be? And what is the reason that I'm attending college or school? Do you even know the reason? And the reason will give you your goal. Yeah, what is the reason you're doing a particular course in college? Do you know where it leads to? See, when you go to the railway station and let's say you want to get into a train, will you get into any train which is standing on the railway station? No. You have your ticket and you know where you want to go. So you will ask somebody, I want to go to this place. Where is that train standing? In which platform, right? We ask that question. And then we go to the platform where the right train is standing and get into it. So, for a small thing like going from one place to another, you make so much effort, find out where the correct train is standing, what time will it leave, and so on and so forth, and then get into the right train. But when it comes into your future, why is it that you don't ask these questions? What is the reason for me to do a particular course in college? Simply because everyone else is doing. There are many students, who don't know. They say, no, I want to do my post-graduation. For what? What do you want to do with a post-graduation? Do you know? Please get into the right area. So this is a question you need to answer for yourself. So there are certain mindsets. Mindset is, call it an attitude or the way you think in order to fulfill your goals. First, you don't need anyone else's permission to choose your own goal, right? It's your goal. You need to choose your own goal. Remember that. Please remember that. You discuss with your parents, discuss with your teachers, take in the inputs they give, but the decision should be yours. And you need to be strong. You need to know the reason why you're doing it. See, most of the times the students will say, no, my parents forced me to take this course. You know why? Because you're not clear what you want to do. You don't know what you want to do. You don't know what course you want to study. So your parents are helping you out. They say, no, I know this is good, so get into it. Are you clear? So let's not blame our parents and say, okay, they're forcing you. They're not forcing you. Do you know anything about what you want to do? Do you know your goals? When you know and you say, no, this is what it is. This is what I want to become. This is the scope of this subject. This is the job I will get after I do this. Are you clear about all that? Are you able to tell your parents that? When you do that, you will be able to choose your own goals. Now, you don't need anyone else's permission to succeed. You succeed by yourself. It's really up to you and only you. Remember that. Second, think about what you want and not about what other people expect you to want. Yeah. See, there are a lot of expectations. Yes, people expect a lot from us. But what is it that you want to achieve? What is it that you want to become? What is it that you want to do? Now, here I would like to take the example of Mrs. Sudha Murthy, who definitely, is one great iconic image in Indian. Among the Indians, when she wanted to study, she said she wants to do engineering. Now, those days, girls never did engineering, only boys did engineering. She said, no, I want to do it. And when she got admission in the college, the principal told her, dear child, I don't think you should study here because there are only boys here. There's not a single girl in the college. I don't think you should study here. Please go and study something else. She said, no, sir, do you have an objection if I study? Then he told her, see, you should wear only saris while you're studying here because there are only boys. She said, if that is the condition, I have no problem. Yeah. And can you believe it? The 4 years that she studied in the engineering college, she was a single girl in the entire college. There were thousands of boys and she was the only girl who was studying there. Right? And even after finishing her engineering, there was an ad from the Tata's group. And the advertisement said that, okay, engineers needed for this, and only men need to apply. Women need not apply. She got very angry with that. She took a postcard and she just wrote, to the chairman, managing director, Tata. She didn't know the address or anything. She just gave that address and said, sir, I am very offended by your advertisement. Why is it that you will not take girls? You think they are not capable? And the managing director of Tata at that time, he read the postcard. He was really impressed by the girl. She was called for the interview and she was given the job. She was the first woman employee also, right? So think about what you want and not what others expect, right? So every time she was stopped from doing something just because she was a woman, she said, no, I want to do it. She's a great inspiration for all of us. So the third mindset you should have is start with an overall picture of your goal and the positive impact that will have. So you must have a picture of the goal. You must have a picture of where I want to go. See, when you play football or any other ground games for that matter, you know where the goal is, right? And you know where you have to hit the ball. So you're very clear where the goal is. You know that the goal on this direction is for us, and the goal on that direction, with the goal post on that direction, is for the opponents, right? So you aim to hit towards your goal post. Similarly, in life too, you need to be very sure where your goal is. What is your goal and what is the impact it will have? You need to do a lot of homework. It doesn't happen automatically. Next, make sure you're focused on a goal and not a fantasy. Yeah. So when you write your dreams, that's what I told you. When you write your dreams, read it again after a little while, and then you will very clearly know that, no, this is not my goal. Or yes, this is my goal. Yeah. Now, for example, what's a fantasy? A fantasy is something which is not real. Yeah. You say, I want to become Superman, or I want to become Spider-Man. No, that's a fantasy. Okay. But if you say, I want to become the, the chief of the army, or the chief of the defense staff, that's not a fantasy. That's a realistic. That'll take many years to happen, but it'll happen. But you can't become a Spider-Man or a Batman. Yeah. So be very realistic in what you're thinking. But aim high. You can aim for anything you want to become. Don't stop yourself. Don't stop yourself. Yeah. Focus on your goal and think deeply about it. Focus is very, very important. Yeah. You should be very focused on your goal, and that will happen only when it is your goal. If it is anybody else's goal, it's impossible to focus on it. It should be your goal. What is it that you want to do, right? So be very clear about your goal and focus on it. Let me tell you how focus works. Now, we've all played with this newspaper. You keep it in the sunlight, nothing happens. But you take a lens, focus the sunlight, what happens? The paper burns, right? So it's the same sunlight, it is the same paper, but when there is focus, the energy of the sunlight intensity increases so much that it can burn the paper. Focus is like that. It'll burn you up with passion. It'll push you forward. Yeah. So you have to focus on your goal. Don't say, oh, this or that. Then both will not work. What is it you want? So there's something which, we all have, a bad habit, I would call. It's known as the victim and the creator language. We use certain languages to ourselves. So creators are people who take full responsibility for their behavior and belief and have an internal locus of control. Internal locus of control is that, okay, I believe that I am responsible for things which happen to me. Yeah. And I can make things happen. But a victim thought is they do not take full responsibility and see themselves as victims in life. They think external locus of control, that is, they say no, fate, destiny, the planets, astrology, all this. They say, oh, it's because of that that I'm like this. So they don't take responsibility for anything which happens to them. Rather, they say that, there are things which are playing a big role in their life. So the question I need to ask here is, what kind of language are you speaking with yourself? Do you speak the creator language or do you speak the victim language? I don't want an answer, but I want you to think and I want you to change. So what is the language? When you are a victim, you make excuses. Yeah, excuse for everything. Why is this not done? Oh no, mama, because that happens. So you're ready with an excuse. We blame others. We complain. We believe they have to do things, right? Why have I put that have to in inverted commas is don't think you're forced to do. You know, when people say, I have to do this and I have to do that, it's not true. And it does not happen. You need to ask yourself, do you want to do it? When you want to do it, you just do it. There is no have to about anything. Now, the victims pretend that their problems belong to others and they give up very easily. So are you somebody, even one of this, if you are talking a victim language. On the other hand, what do creators do? They don't make excuses, but they seek solutions. Why was this not done? Yes, I did not do it. I was careless, whatever. So I shall see to it that it's done in the next day or week or whatever. So they accept responsibility. They don't blame destiny. They don't blame luck. They don't blame others. They take action. They say, okay, this was not done. I shall see to it that this is done. They do not say that they have to do things, rather they choose to do things, right? It's my choice. And they own their problem. So they say, if I have a problem, it's mine. It's not because of somebody else. I need to find out how I can solve my problem. And they take control of their choices. They're very careful about what they choose. Yeah. Now, here is something which I want all of you to just, we'll have a small activity now about this choice. Okay, so what I want you to do is, if there's somebody next to you, you're all at home, right? If there is somebody next to you, please tell them about one thing which you cannot do. Okay, maybe, I cannot cook, or I cannot make chapatis, or I cannot drive, or I cannot ride a bicycle. Something which you cannot do. You say so many things, isn't it? Just tell that to whoever is next to you. Just tell them, I cannot do this. Yeah. Quickly, whoever is there, you can tell them, I cannot do this. Right. Now what I want you to do is the same thing. Suppose you've said, I cannot swim. Okay, let us say you've said this sentence that I cannot swim. I want you to say the same thing, but use these words. I'll give you the words. I choose not to swim. Okay, so suppose you've said I cannot dance. Tell them, now again you tell them, I choose not to dance. So the same thing, but use the words I choose not to. Yes, please. The same thing, use these words. Okay. So did you feel the difference? Anybody? Was there a difference when you said I choose not to and I cannot?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what was the difference? What difference did you feel?
When I wrote this thing, I can't run faster. And when I said that thing, I have chosen not to run faster.
Yes.
There is,
So what
I
happened?
found a big difference.
Yes. What was the difference? How did you feel?
I cannot express it in words, ma'am.
Again, you're saying I cannot. Don't say I cannot. You don't want to express it in words. That's a different point. See, the thing here
Ma'am,
is
can I tell?
Please.
Yeah, if I am telling, if I'm saying that I can't dance, that means it is showing that I'm a handicraft. My leg is not working, my hand is not working. But I am totally.
Sorry, we lost you.
May I?
Yes, please.
Yeah. When I say, like, for example, the example you gave, like, somebody was not around me to say that, say anything actually. I'm sitting alone. So when I said, for example, I cannot swim,
Okay.
somewhere I cannot, the word cannot put in front of it is somewhere not doing willingness inside me. But when I say I choose not to swim, that my internal willingness is actually saying that I'm choosing not really to swim. That, you know, it's an expressive way of saying that I'm really not choosing to swim. Like, don't force me beyond it. Something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's yeah, everything is a choice, you know. So don't say the sentence or don't use the words I cannot, because it's not that you cannot, you choose to. I'm not saying you do everything. No. If you don't want to do, you say I choose not to do it. So for that you need to have a lot of confidence that you choose. It's your choice. Okay, it's not that you cannot. You're not handicapped. It's not that you don't have the ability, but you don't want to do it. It's perfectly all right. Yeah. So remember, it's a choice we have. So never say I cannot, right? Never say I cannot. You say I don't want to, or I don't know how to. That is still okay. Yeah, that means you can still learn. I don't know how to. For example, if you ask me, can you fly a plane? No, I don't know how to fly a plane. But not that I cannot. I can. But I don't know how to. It just means that I need to learn, right? So when you change the way you talk to yourself, when you use the creator language, you will know the plan of action. You will know what is it that you need to do. Yeah. Now, here are two examples of the creator and the victim language. A student who did poorly on last week's test, a creator would admit that he or she did not study as much as he or she could have, while a victim would blame the professor for not explaining the material thoroughly. Yeah. So when you blame somebody else, you're using victim language. When you accept responsibility and say, yes, I need to do it better. Maybe I studied, but maybe I did not write the exam properly. So I need to learn how to write the answers. There's so much I need to learn, but I don't definitely blame it on somebody else. So now we come to setting goals. How do I set my goals? So first thing is you write down whatever you want to. And then how do I go about so that I can reach all these goals, right? So that's what I say. It's helpful to write down both your long-term and short-term goals. Short-term goals would be what I need to do next week, what I need to do next month, right? Within the next 6 months, whatever you have to do, that is your short-term goal. The next year, this is what I have to do. That would be your long-term goal. So please write down your long-term goals and your short-term goals. It's very important to write down. Many of us, think here, say, no, this is my goal. But where is it written down is the question. You need to write down. I still write down my goals, because unless you write it down, it does not happen. It does not work. We do not work towards it. So please write down your goals. Yeah. And one, this is something you have to do when you write down your long-term goals. Break it down into smaller goals. Break these into still smaller goals till you come down to a to-do list, daily list. Now, you want to do something next week. Yeah, let us say. Now, if that has to happen next week, we always, with goals, we always need to work backwards. Yeah. So if something has to happen, ask your mother, for example, if she has to cook tomorrow, you tell your mother, Mama, make chole tomorrow. Fine. But she has to do something today. She has to soak the chana today, only then you can get chole tomorrow. So there is something we have to do today if we have to get something later. So we always have to work backwards. We always have to work backwards. So if there's something you have to do next week, there is a goal you've set for next week, I need to do this. Work backwards. Ask yourself, okay, today is Saturday. So next Saturday, this has to be done. What should I do on Friday? What should I do on Thursday? What should I do on Wednesday? Coming back, you will get an answer. What should I do right now? So that is why it's very important that we break down our goals, because just writing down your goal is not going to work. You have to work. Now, let us say you've written, okay, I want to, become a doctor. So now maybe you're in your 9th standard. Then you have to work backwards. If you have to become a doctor, so you have to do your homework, find out how many years of study it is. So you will complete your 10th, and then you have to do your 11th and 12th. And then after that, you have to do 5 years of MBBS. And then you have to do 1 year of internship. And so now you work backwards and say, okay, if I have to do so much, in my 10th, how much do I have to score? There's a particular cutoff, yeah? Now for that, I work backwards. If I have to score that much, how do I study? And so today you will know that from today, if I start working, then 10 years down the line, I'll become a doctor. That's how it works. So you need to work backwards. Yes? Somebody said something? No. Right. So this is very important. Our goals should be SMART. Yeah? So what is a SMART goal? So when we write down our goal, the goals also should be SMART. One is it should be specific. Second, it should be measurable. Third, it should be achievable. Fourth, it should be relevant. And fifth, it should be timely. I'll explain each one, but let's remember the word SMART. S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for timely. So now let's look at how we need to set our goals. So when we say a specific goal, it should be clear to the point. You know exactly what you need to do to accomplish the goal and gain more satisfaction from doing so. So when we say it's a very specific goal, now there are many students who say, I want to go abroad and study. So they write it as a goal. I want to go abroad for my higher education. No, that's not a specific goal. When you say abroad, where do you want to go? You'll go to Bangladesh and study. Is that what you want? No. So where do you want to go? Are you sure? You have to be clear. For that you have to do your homework. So do you want to study in the United States? Do you want to study in Australia, New Zealand? Do you want to study in Canada? Do you want to study in the UK? Where do you want, or do you want to study in, Russia? Where exactly when you say abroad? So be very specific, see? Now, and then you say, I want to go abroad for my higher education. What are you going to do in your higher education? What are you going to study? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about the subject you want to study? Have you thought about what is the reason you want to study that particular subject? What do you want to become? Simply studying a subject doesn't help. We look at people and we say, oh wow, I want to become like that. But you need to see the amount of effort which has gone into that. So be very, very specific. So a specific goal will answer these 6 questions. What is it that I want to do? Why? What is the reason that I want to do? What is the reason? Is it because my parents say so? Then it's not my goal. Yeah. Who will help me to reach there? I need to know that. Who will help me? Because see, if it is something which involves a lot of money, then you need your parents' support. Yeah. So you need to discuss with them. Then where exactly are you planning to do it? Whatever it is, where, the space, please be very specific about the place. When do you want to do that? Yeah, just don't be very vague. When do you want to do that? And which is very specifically, like I told you, if you say higher education, what exactly is it? Yeah. So these 6 questions have to be answered very clearly. And that is what a specific goal is. So when you write a goal, ask these 6 questions. What exactly is it? Why do I want it? Everything. Yeah, then it becomes specific. Second, it has to be measurable. Yeah, what do we mean by measurable? To know that you're making progress towards it. How do you know that you're moving towards your goal? So it has to be a measurable goal. Now, there are people who want to lose weight. So they say, okay, I want to lose 10 kgs. But then, every week they measure and they say, okay, yes, I've lost 1 kg. Okay, I've lost 2 kg. So they know. So they know that they're moving towards their goal. So is your goal measurable? Do you know how to measure your goals? Sorry?
Okay.
Did somebody ask something? Okay.
The SMART goals were
Yes, ma'am. You can't unmute yourself, ma'am. Wait a second.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, sorry, where was I? Yeah, your goals have to be measurable. We have to know. Sorry?
I'm again sorry, ma'am. We have again less than 1 minute left. Can we rejoin? Can we ask everyone to use the same link?
Please, all of you. I think time is running out, so please, we have to rejoin again. Please rejoin.
Thank you.